A murder on the farm. An empty safe cracked open. Money under the floor. A rifle in a septic tank. 3 names. And too many silencers dressed up as answers. Each thread we pulled only led to more questions. And the deeper we went, the harder it got to tell the difference between what was missing and what was deliberately erased. But we were close now. Closer than I'd ever admit out loud. Sometimes the end doesn't arrive with a bang. Sometimes it arrives quietly, like someone coming home.
Created by Hendrik. Sound design by Ethan. Brought to you by Bed Media. This is Blood in the Dust, The Wolverfontein Murder, Part 6, The Bell That Rang.
I wasn't expecting visitors, not that day, not at the police station, but the knock was soft, too soft for a uniform, and when I looked up, Maria. She carried a paper bag. Banana bread, she said. Said Magda used to love it with rooibos. Thought she'd bring some by. We talked, small things, the weather, the incessant rain. She asked how Magda was doing, if I'd heard anything new. Said she still couldn't believe it. Said the house must feel different now, empty. And then she said something that shouldn't have meant anything. Funny how the little silver bell was left on the kitchen windowsill. Magda always said it was her grandmother's. The bell. It wasn't in the crime scene report. Wasn't in any of the witness statements. No one mentioned it. Except Magda, once in hospital a few days ago, barely audible. I heard the bell, she whispered, before it all started. I assumed she meant the doorbell. I know better now. Maria hadn't been in that room since. She stood, smiled, said to call her if I needed anything else, said she hoped we'd find the monster who did it. She said monster, singular. Like the others didn't count. Like she already knew the worst one was still out there. I smiled, said thank you, didn't ask questions, didn't press, just watched her walk away. And in the silence she left behind, the completed puzzle revealed itself. Back to the scene, back to where it started, the study, same broken safe, same blood stain under the desk, but it was the smear on the door frame that got me this time, high, out of place, almost missed, like someone reached out mid-struggle or mid-run. And then I saw it, the little bell on the windowsill, next to the open window, the bell that rang. Magda said she heard it before the shouting, before the boiling water, said like it didn't belong, like it was out of place. I picked it up, using my handkerchief, gave it a tinkle. It rang in the deepest part of me. Of course! The bell! The bell was the key! I paced it all out. The bath, the study, the drill, the kettle, the shot. While at the same time, a hand was slipping under the floorboards, silently removing the prize that the Stooges would search for in vain. I thought back to the tears at the hospital, the banana bread circling back to the silver bell. Maria had access. Maria ran the house. Maria knew where the money was. She said she'd been up north, a holiday apparently, later redefined as an emergency. Which one was it? Neither, because she was never away. I asked her to come see me at the station. Said it was just to clarify a few final details. Nothing official, just, nothing formal. Of course, always happy to help. She sat down, smiled. But I watched her hands. That's where the truth lives. Not in the eyes, in the fingers. Hers were too still. I offered tea. She accepted. No sugar, no milk. Said she was trying to be healthier. I asked how her holiday was. Said it rained, said the power kept cutting, said she was building a house with money she inherited. Said she wished she'd never gone. No mention of an emergency now. Then she paused, just long enough. I asked about the bell. Her cup froze halfway to her mouth. Not a twitch, not a blink, just a pause. Magda said the bell rang just before it all started, I said. I watched her carefully. She smiled, said, Yes, I know that bell. She always used it when she wanted me to come help. And that's when I knew I was right. I slid the papers toward her. This is you, isn't it? You are Nomoro. Her fingers hovered over the paper, then dropped to her lap. She didn't answer. Not with words, not right away. She just looked out the window at the rain. Then, finally, said, I said not to hurt them. That was it. Not an admission, but more than I needed, more than I wanted. The details would come later. I had wanted her to be innocent. We all did, even Magda. Sometimes justice doesn't come with sirens. Sometimes it arrives with a cup of tea and a pause too long to ignore. I stared into the fridge like it might give me an answer. Same cottage pies, same casseroles with notes from neighbors I barely greet. I closed it. Pulled a pan from the cupboard. Just one egg. Cracked it slow. Let it sizzle. Sometimes starting again doesn't need a ceremony. Just a decision. To eat something warm, to sit at a table, to be human again. Maria never wanted blood, not really. She only wanted something for herself. A loan denied, a life postponed. The Retiefs had a house, had plans, had safes under floors. She had nothing, only years. Years of rooms scrubbed, tablecloths ironed. She thought they owed her. And maybe they did. But the moment you think someone else's life is yours to balance, that's when the devil walks in. Quiet shoes, careful voice, silver bell in hand. I ate in silence. No whiskey tonight. Not even a drop. The bottle's still in the drawer, but something's lifted. I don't know if I'll stop, but I didn't start tonight. That's something. Looks like the storm has ended. Clear skies tonight. Full moon smiles through the window. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to her name. Lena. Still just Lena. No photo, no ringtone. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then pressed delete. You can't call the dead, not even to say sorry, not even to say goodbye. Lena died a year ago today. Murdered. Different town, different case, never solved. Today was the 1-year anniversary, and I'd spent it catching someone else's ghost. I thought, if I solved enough cases, maybe I'd rewrite time, undo the moment, that dreadful moment. But time doesn't work that way. Justice doesn't either. The Retief case is closed. Maria and her crew will face what's coming. And me? I'll try again tomorrow. To sleep, to live, to remember without breaking. Goodbye, Lena. I love you.
You've been listening to Blood in the Dust, The Wolverfontein Murder, an audio drama podcast in 6 parts. It was written and performed by Hendrik Baird. The sound was designed by Ethan Baird. It was recorded at Solid Gold Podcast and Audiobooks. This is a Baird Media production. For more information, visit the website baird.media.